People are shitting on Usopp right now.
Why? What happened? It's something I just don't know about yet.
Nah, it's just people want Usopp to be more right now, and he's not. But we can't expect him to grow so fast so quickly just because Elbaf has started. But the way Elbaf has started, Usopp has been kind of tanking right now. And I guess we're just kind of waiting for him to have that sort of interaction with the Giants that kind of makes him get better. It's kind of like how we expected Zoro's arc to be Wano, and it I mean, not necessarily. It didn't really go the way people really expected it to, but there was a little bit of focus on him. Like there's a whole thing about his lore and his family and all this other stuff. And we were supposed to get all these drops and whatever, and like a lot of shit was hinted at, but it wasn't like a whole shit ton that Zoro was awakened to or privy of. It was just kind of like, oh shit, like, I remember I got the sword from that one guy, and then he just doesn't really put shit together. He just kind of like, I'll fight with the sword better now. And then he defeats King. Like, hell, fucking Sanji had more damn development mentally than Zoro. Sanji was like, my whole family and all this and other shit. Do I want to be like my family or do I want to be my own person? He literally called Zoro up and was like, dude, if I lose my mind, kill me. And then he just hangs up. And then he just like awakens his shit, unlocks Ifrit Jambe, and fucks the shit out of Queen. Like, it's kind of like, okay, like, at least mentally wise, like Sanji was kind of doing more shit with his abilities, like, and then don't even get me on the fact that Zoro basically was like about to die or something, and like death was just right standing in front of him, and that was just
Hmm.
never mentioned afterward fact. He's just like, okay, I went through it, I'm here back. Okay, like what the fuck was that? It's like, I understand, like, yeah, like technically it was supposed to show like he encountered death, but I don't know what's up with Zoro kind of forgetting that about the Seraphim. Like they fought the Seraphim, and he was like, "Oh yeah, those guys kind of look like them." And then people were shitting on him because he was like, "So you know how to fight them with King's abilities, and you still didn't utilize that. You weren't even able to take down the Seraphim."
Yeah.
And I understand, like they were trying to, at first they were trying to escape while also helping the CP agents, but I mean they let them go after the fact, and they still like didn't take one down. Well, you know what? No, I take it back because the Seraphim are supposed to be insanely strong. They're children, and they're supposed to be growing. They're getting exponentially stronger. So I can understand, like, if Zoro actually took one of them out, that would kind of just take away the reason for them being there in the first place. And on top of that, they have devil fruits. So it's kind of like they got a lot going on for them. Um,
There are some things that are really like crazy. Like, I mean, just thinking about it now, right? Like, if you ever really thought about like the amount of science it took to create a seraphim,
Basically, make a clone.
and that's crazy that basically took like, okay, I understand some people like Boa Hancock becoming a warlord made sense. She's a queen of a kingdom, and in her mind, having the world government on her side was better than being a pirate and then having everyone come for the Amazon. So someone like her, it makes sense. Maybe giving up her like her DNA to like the fucking government, but what about some of these other people? Like, I mean, why would Moria even want to be a warlord? realistically.
Um, what you mean, like how? I don't know. Maybe it's because the government kind of leaves him alone while he does his experiments.
Maybe.
I mean that's the
Well,
only thing I can think of because he was just kind of chilling, and whenever a
uh,
strong pirate crew would come around, he'd just take them, and maybe
you know,
that'd be his deal with the government. It'd be like, I'll take out the strong guys, turn them into zombies for myself, and you know, capture them for you technically.
I just thought about something. I want to do this without spoiling Q. Remember in Marine Ford, or before Marine Ford, Blackbeard became a warlord as well, right?
Yeah.
And then that quickly ended. I wonder if it's because maybe they were trying to get some of his DNA.
Um.
Because now he's trying to get. Remember, now he's trying to become, uh, like try to have his area become like a fucking
Country.
legal country. Yeah, so it's not like he's trying to kiss up to the world government.
I feel like the whole DNA thing was something that maybe it was done on the side. I can't really see a warlord coming up or the government confronting them and being like, yeah, we need some of your DNA for some reason. Like, give me one of your hairs. Like, that's kind of weird. I could rather see them going up to, for the, not the reverie, but when they had their little meetings, because they'd all meet up. I could see the government, one of them being sneaky and getting their DNA that way, more so than them directly asking them for some DNA, because that would like imagine Boa, right? Like she doesn't trust men at all, and I think the only man she trusts is what? It wasn't Garp, was it? Who was it?
Really?
Yeah, so she trusts Rayleigh. So if he's the only man that she trusts, why would she trust anybody else in the government to be like, yeah, I'll give you some of my DNA? It's like, what? That wouldn't make any sense. So I could see them being more sneaky. Like maybe they
Yeah.
not battle, but maybe they just got lucky. I mean, it's kind of like the one guy who keeps getting pictures of these pirates with their bounty posters. Like, if they can do that shit, I mean, I'm pretty sure they can get some damn DNA or something.
I wonder how much that guy's getting paid.
Oh, he must be getting paid like out the ass. I don't know.
Gotta be risking his life in the middle of a fight to catch a good picture of Luffy in Gear 5.
Can't, like, with Luffy bouncing around so damn much, like the terrain is basically impossible. I don't know how the fuck he's getting a picture.
Imagine you like, I'm trying to get a good angle. Hold, pose, stop.
Nah,
Can you guys
dude,
stop fighting for a second?
nah, that was the guy who was getting that was the real guy who was getting pictures of Spider-Man. He was doing better than Peter Parker taking pictures of himself as Spider-Man. I mean, hell, look, that dude was in the moment during battle, fucking everywhere. But imagine if it was him who was the one who defeated Luffy. If they can get a picture of him that close up, or with that, I don't even know how much zoom. I'm I don't know. He spent more time around them than the damn CP agent who interrupted the fight.
CP agent.
Yeah,
That man said,
the damn
stop!
CP agent got between them and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck up like Luffy so he gets defeated," and then it ends up making Gear 5 pop up anyways.
Like, you just helped, actually. Thank you. Honestly, now I'm thinking about maybe if Luffy wasn't interrupted, you think maybe he wouldn't have gotten Gear 5?
Maybe because I feel like it's a thing where the whole thing about it was it required for the heart thing to take over, right? So it kind of makes sense. Like, what if it was like, if the heart didn't have a chance to restart, it wouldn't have tried to restart in that way. Like, there's no way Luffy would just be like, oh, let me make my heart bounce. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, Luffy came up with like gear second, which was like he increased his blood flow, but he wouldn't think about his heartbeat doing that. I feel like it wouldn't be like a natural conclusion that he would come to. It's just
Yeah.
something his body had to do it.
We're back.
Nah, that shit is wild though.
Yep. Gear 5. Gear 5.
Nah, I was screaming when that shit happened. When he said this is my peak, and I was just like, yo, I, I don't know. There's that. That's why I started reading the manga, because now that there's just no, there's nothing that can get better than that. Like that reveal was it for me. Like I'm done anime only because it's just that was like the peak of every fucking thing.
That was Richard's peak.
Can you imagine when One Piece ends, and then apparently like, so if Gear 5 was the thing that got people to start watching, it's kind of like you go through all this build up to finally get to the Gear 5 point, and then you still have more story to go. And then we're not even stopping when Luffy becomes Pirate King. Like, that is crazy. Like, what? We get to see Luffy like post Pirate King? That is crazy.
They'd be like, he's the king now.
Like,
Everyone.
he's just like you remember you saw Stampede, right?
Um, maybe. I don't remember anything though.
So basically in Stampede, they were fighting over the road poneglyph for Laugh-Tale. It kind of reminded me of that. Like, what if Luffy got that and didn't destroy it? It's kind of like, well, damn, like, you know, the journey would have technically been over. They would have gone to Laugh-Tale and that would have been it. But it's kind of like, with that being the end goal, seemingly, it's kind of like, it's hard to believe that, oh, like, when they get there, it just cuts to black and show ends. Like, that'd be kind of ass. But it's like, damn, like, I'm interested to see how Oda's just gonna continue things.
You know what? I wonder if he'll do another time skip. Actually, because I was thinking about it. Maybe Luffy kicking the pirates, and then like a year later.
I I feel like I would want some time with them being in the moment before we do a time skip, because we still have to deal with like everything else that's going on in the world. And I don't even know if I would want a thing where, oh, like, you know, the Bink Sake fucking plays and there just does like a little cutscenes of them going through the islands instead of, you know, having a little journey at least. It's like, damn, it's like, for example, when they went from Egghead to, what's it called? Elbaf, there was just no break. It was just like the one chapter or two chapters of them kind of partying, and then bam, we're in Elbaf. It's just kind of like, I was I was kind of hoping for a pit stop or something. Like I understand we want to get to Elbaf, but it's just like I I guess I wanted some more like post story before Elbaf. The cut between them was just too fast, and I was just like, damn, like, don't they get some time to chill? or can't we spend some time with the characters just chilling? Like, have Luffy talk about Gear 5 or have them interact with Bonnie and fucking Kuma. Something. It's like, damn. Like, we get no dialogue with them except fucking Zoro getting on Luffy because he's sad about an old man. And actually, people felt like that was very out of character for Zoro because wasn't he crying about some other old dude? I forgot who it was.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but
Oh,
yeah,
Yasue. He was upset
oh,
about Yasue, but he's over here getting on Luffy about Vegapunk.
I think it was just like a respect thing
What, respect for Yasue?
because like when people were like when it because he didn't know about the smiles, right? So when people were like laughing about him dying, it's like, listen, the man still died. Like, this is not a fucking joke. Like, have respect for the dead kind of situation. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that was kind of out of character for Zoro to say regardless because it's like, Luffy's goal was to technically protect him, and in his mind he failed. When in reality he didn't really because Vegapunk is just his brain is still there, and they have all the little robots and stuff, or his copies. So it's kind of like, I mean, for the main body, but then also Vegapunk didn't really. He kind of was ready to die based on the lore and what he set up. So I don't know. Like, Luffy failed, but he didn't. It all went
Yeah.
according to plan.
According to plan.
But nah, I was kind of surprised Zoro even. But also, like, yeah, Luffy is technically supposed to be an emperor, but I mean, come on now. Kaido's over here drunk crying and shit.
Drunk Kaido.
Yep, drunk Kaido going through all his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I just didn't like. I'm okay with the cut, but I didn't really like the cut. Like, maybe after this latest chapter they'll kind of take a break because this guy with them in the fucking dollhouse shit is just like dumb. It just maybe it's a little fast paced for me right now. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the breaks that they had when they were in the Grand Line.
I think a break is always needed, because it'll sometimes be a lot of stuff going on.
There's just
I
been
don't. I
so
think
much stuff happening. Non-stop fighting, non-stop drama. Oh my goodness, it's like, oh my goodness, the White Warrior, Luffy is Nika. Oh my goodness. Like, they've been saying that like every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds they talking about, oh, Mihawk is a fraud because Luffy painted his bat black and now he fucking has mastered like that shit. Or like Mihawk painted his sword black and that's how he has a black blade. Like, they've been running that meme for centuries now. And it's like, alright, he can pull shit out of his ass if he wanted to, I guess. They've been running for the longest. And we had some moments here and there, but this is like, good night. Like, they only had time to party.
mm, like I feel like parties are sometimes needed. Like a nice reprieve is sometimes really warranted, in my opinion.
Shoot, the parties are fine. I mean, they partied in Wano, and I liked how at least they had like a little festival or something. I'm not gonna lie, that shit blew my mind when Jinbei was the only one sitting there, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like at the beginning of it, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a feast together and all this other shit." Like they fucking slammed them damn drinks down while they were on that fucking boat, and they were like, "Yeah, let's get this shit and we're gonna feast." Nobody fucking feasted. They just left like I get it. Like they don't do formal shit, but I was looking for that table spread.
I think what's really crazy is the way the story's been played out too. Like a lot of the things that's been happening, like the Gorosei alone is a crazy situation.
The girls say are fucking hilarious. It's like, are they even threatening right now? It's just like I don't fucking get it. Like they came up here all fucking menacing with the damn circles and shit, and we were like, oh my god, they're fucking cooked. And then they get blown back with Gear 5 gimmicks and fucking the Giants are tearing their asses up. Like, okay, yeah, they got a little bit of on fire or whatever, but it ain't like they're about to die. And here comes the big fat pig making some damn hockey roar, and that like that tingled their feet for a second, but they're all good. And then here comes the knot that fucking made them lag out. I don't know. The girls say, let me see. So the Gorosei are extremely threatening, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if they were meant for fighting, because if they were meant for fighting, they wouldn't have the fucking immortality, and they wouldn't have been sitting in that damn room for 100 fucking years. That's the only fucking thing they did. They sitting at that damn room, being like, "Oh, Akainu, why are you here? Know your place." And it was like, bitch, you couldn't even like fight him if you didn't have the immortality. You should be dead right now.
Like this should be a murder.
Oh yeah, people been gassing the shit out of Garp too. That shit is funny as fuck. Akainu would have died, like hands down. When he killed Ace, Akainu would have fucking died right then and there. There's no way he would have escaped Garp. Garp would have torn his ass to shreds. I don't even know if he would have had to do the galaxy impact on him. He would have just been done.
I'm gonna say it like
give him
this.
a couple wops.
There's a reason why Garp is comparable to Roger, okay? If you have to go up against the king of pirates, you have to be a king in your own right.
Shit, Garp sitting up here, zooming, fucking zooming and booming. He's just tearing that shit up. And here comes Kobe. Kobe tearing that shit up too.
Kobe versus Luffy might still be a Luffy W, but I wouldn't mind seeing it now. Potential Luffy versus Kobe might be a good fight.
Oh, it would be, definitely. With the shit we've seen so far, Kobe would get some hits in. Especially if Kobe can, like, no, he has armament now, doesn't he? He got a little bit. Yeah, he does, cause he did the impact like Garp did. So Kobe can train his armament. His hands. They about to be punching and jabbing. About to be going crazy. Kobe's gonna give like Luffy one of them wops like Garp or something, and be like, "Yo, this was like something my grandpa would do." He punched the bullshit out of Luffy. He probably, but Luffy would confuse the shit out of him with Gear 5. He'd be running around his ass, laughing and bouncing, and Kobe be like, "What the fuck?" The only thing that would probably help Kobe is his observation hockey, because his shit is pretty damn strong. At least as far as detecting where Luffy would be at, because Luffy's pretty fast.
Yeah.
People been getting on Usopp because when was the last time Usopp used observation?
Yeah. It's
Usopp
been a
been
minute.
been
You.
using no observation ever since Dressrosa. He still got the damn plants. I mean, I don't know. I like a lot of people were kind of hoping he went back to the dials and did some more creative stuff because before New World, like Usopp was tearing that shit up.
He was. He definitely was. I don't know. I feel like maybe because Usopp in the past was really challenged, and I feel like there is challenges, but not directly linked to Usopp alone. Like all the moments where I feel like Usopp did really well, like and really like succeeded, he was forced in like only him situations. Like I would say, if like, even in the situation where they had at Wano, it wasn't really a Usopp only thing as much. It wasn't really as much of a challenge, in my opinion, as um, his past experiences were. If that makes sense. Like with the whole thing with like Sugar, like it was literally up to him, and if he failed, it would have been the end. So it was like it's up to you. You know what I mean? So that kind of I think pressured his mental to like actually unlock it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Usopp really hasn't gotten like a challenge. He'll just kind of, he still gets hurt and all that, but he's usually saved at the end of the day. And now he has like the plant stuff, which it gives him an edge, but it's not as creative as his previous stuff. Like it's not like he sat there and is sitting there like tinkering with the stuff still. Like it's just more like he kind of has his set stuff and then he'll just kind of prep it. But he's not really utilizing other things to it. Like, for example, you don't really see him do the Firebird Star a lot in the past, but he sure as hell did that shit on the world government flag, and that shit was crazy. Like his shit stood out when he did it, but nowadays it's just kind of like up green star, up exploding green star. Like where the fuck? Like, he doesn't he have like plant tigers and shit like that? Like the fuck? Like throw out some damn plant tigers. I want to see him riding on them shits, tearing people up. It's like that shit would be crazy. Can you imagine if he went to fight a fishman or something, or if he modified it to match people's moves or match people's like physiques or something, like make grass creatures. Like what if he had a grass like fishman, like he studied not studied the fishman, but it's like he's fought a fishman before. So what if he had something where it's like, he has the I don't know, the fishman he fought on the Arlong Park, and then he sat there and kind of like copied somebody who kind of looks like him and has him shoot out fucking his firebirds. I don't
Yeah.
know, just like something. It's just he's just doing the same. I don't really want to say he's doing the same thing over and over again because yeah, he has the slingshot, but I mean, look at his fight against Luffy. Like he went all fucking out. He did all kinds of different things.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, him knowing about Luffy and stuff was a benefit in that case, but like he still put in the effort, and I think that's the thing. Like we're not seeing that effort that we saw in the past.
I think in Elbaf he's supposed to have more effort this time, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see because this arc is probably gonna last a couple of years, so he'll have plenty of growth.
Huh.
Oh no, trust me. When he's probably this is what I want to see, right? I feel like something might happen where you know, obviously the Giants are gonna challenge him because Hadruden, I think, they regard him as like, yo, this guy is God Usopp. Like, and it makes sense with the Giants how they have all their gods and shit. They're gonna if they revere him as a god, they're gonna test that. So it's kind of like with the Dressrosa thing, right? Like with the Tontadas, he basically told them like, "Hey, I'm not who I said I was," and blah blah blah. Like this God Usopp thing needs to catch up with him, and then he needs to tell the Giants like, "Hey, I'm not really a god, but watch this," and then he needs to do something like godly. Like that's
Mm.
what I want to see. He needs to do some shit like Luffy needs to slap some Gear 5 on him, and then just fucking Usopp go ballistic. I don't know. Like Usopp needs some of that Luffy mechanic.
Yeah. He needs that upgrade.
I mean that shit would be crazy. I mean people have talked about Luffy possibly giving his crewmates access to Gear 5 because he can affect his environment. So since Luffy can kind of do everything at this point, would it be too surprising?
No. That's the funny part. It would not.
Imagine Frankie with Gear 5. He'd be like Super 5. Ow! Imagine Zoro Gear 5.
Yeah, don't even play with me.
Mm,
3 sword, 5.
that shit, Zoro would be like 5 swords.
Zoro wouldn't.
Nah,
Zoro would make.
nah. You know, what'd be funny. He would go like he'd say 5. He has like 3 swords, and then he uses his feet, making fun of Sanji. He'd be like 5 sword style.
No, no. Zoro would go Ashura Gear 5.
Mm. Oh, that would be crazy. I forgot about Ashura. Sanji Gear 5 would be like, I don't know.
Ooh, oh, wait, his foot would be the white fire.
Oh, white hot. Oh, that'd be crazy.
And then instead of having his leg be like a hard as steel, it stretch. So he would not have to even move. He can stretch it and kick.
Mm. He'd be like Katakuri or some shit.
Mm. Honestly, the guy who did the live action for Sanji, they showed him like doing the training. Like there was a video of him doing like the training to like learn how to fight without his hands and stuff like that.
That shit was wild.
Man, that honestly, that's a lot of dedication. Literally having to learn a whole martial arts style. But the fact is, you could literally be like, I know how to kick ass now. Registered feet.
Mm.
Okay.
Now I want to see who was it? So Robin is obviously gonna be a demon, an actual demon. Like that ability she has now needs to be explained. Um, I wouldn't know how Gear 5 Nami would go. Gear 5 Nami would be throwing out hurricanes and shit left and right. And she'd be like a fucking weather witch or some shit. Making like TV reports in midair. Fucking Chopper, I don't know. I feel like Chopper's transformations would just go out of control. Brook Gear 5 would just be, I don't know. Jinbei Gear 5 would be weird.